Welcome back to a reading of several chapters from the connection equation. In this video, we're doing chapters 7 and 8. If you missed the previous two videos, you'll want to click the link to the playlist in the video description and catch up so you know exactly what's going on. Now let's continue with chapter 7, Quick Fix. Jane dropped her computer and mini recorder into her bag, tossed her bag over one shoulder, and left the office. She would have to think about her new assignment later, because right now she had an interview scheduled with a high school guidance counselor who had been fighting to stem the tide of despair and bullying and other pressures among his student body in hopes of helping them survive, at least until graduation. She grabbed some lunch on her way, then crossed the street to Millennial Park and sat watching people wander around the giant mirrored structured bean while she ate. The sculpture itself was amazing. It bent the light in the most surprising ways and looked like something aliens might deliver to Earth as either a sign of peace and goodwill, or a Trojan horse designed to study our primitive species and then take over our minds. Its official name, Cloud Gate, only served to reinforce that impression. In reality, it wasn't the artwork itself that caught and held everyone's attention, but seeing themselves reflected in its shiny surface. They delighted in it. They walked toward and away and underneath, all the while watching their reflections grow and fade and contort. They took out their phones and snapped selfie after selfie to share on social media. They pointed and posed and laughed and could scarcely tear their eyes away from their reflections. What do people want? Jane asked herself quietly between bites of her pizza slice. And how can I give it to them? Well, she began as she studied the creatures before her as if she were the observing alien. We're obviously obsessed with ourselves. Her eyes looked beyond the shiny bean toward Navy Pier, and she thought of the 200-foot-tall Centennial Wheel and other carnival-style rides there. And we like distraction, Jane continued. Once basic needs get met, we pursue fun or relaxation and pleasure. But there must be something more, something better, she thought to herself. Something more deeply satisfying. She finished the last of her pizza and got ready to walk back to the train and her interview. There'd better be something better, she reasoned next, because none of this could possibly top the Tribune story. She continued, combing through her thoughts as the train jostled from station to station. It should be something fairly durable, not just fleeting, but that doesn't take too much effort. Americans didn't like hard work, not when it came to their enjoyments. Sure, plenty of people love to climb mountains and run marathons and learn languages and discover ancient Spanish gold at the bottom of the ocean, but that wasn't the sort of thing she could sell to relaxed readers glancing lazily through the paper over Sunday brunch. She needed something not too difficult, yet extremely satisfying, a quick and easy fix, a harmless miracle pill. But those don't exist in the real world, do they? Her train of thought derailed when she realized she was coming up on her stop, and she moved toward the doors as the train slowed, along with a small crowd of fellow passengers. She watched them as they all stood, clinging to seat back handrails or walls or dangling plastic loops, bracing against the shifting momentum of the train. She noted their differences first, how the diverse crowd included representatives from at least 3 races, at least 2 genders, and a variety of ages ranging from young 20s to 50s or possibly 60s. Next, she noted their similarities, the way everyone, including herself, all stood together quietly, not speaking or making eye contact, together yet separate. She found the crowd endlessly interesting and couldn't help but wonder what they were thinking, where they were going, who was waiting for them at the other end of their commute, and above all, what they wanted. Wanted from life in general, and from today and tomorrow, and most of all, from Sunday Morning and from her upcoming amazing, brilliantly insightful, mind-blowing, earth-shattering, life-altering article. She would take up her quest again soon. She would find her quick fix and write her article and change the world, if at all possible. And if not, Larry would just have to deal with it. All right, let's move on to chapter 8, On Your Side. It may help to realize that everyone wants you to succeed. Everyone except for trolls and haters, that is, and let's pay no attention to what those unkind, unhappy souls want for you. Do not let them win. Everyone else wants you to become a more skilled connector because hunger for connection is deeply wired into our brains and souls. And the better you master these skills, the more everyone around you will benefit from them. When one person succeeds, everybody wins. I highly recommend that you share your favorite points and questions from this book with friends so they can learn alongside you and thus best support you as you seek your ideal self and your best possible life. Discussion, quotes, and questions. How much do you currently feel like others, including strangers, want you to win? Who wouldn't want you to increase your charm and connection skills? Why wouldn't they? Who do you know who might find these discussion questions interesting and who you might strike up a conversation about them with? How much difference do you think discussing these questions will make in your understandings, attitudes, and abilities to form strong connections? All right, that's it. Thanks for listening to chapter 7 and 8. I hope you're enjoying it so far, and I promise it continues getting better and better and better. So be sure to subscribe, and thank you very much for sharing this playlist with your friends. Whenever you're ready for your own copy of the connection equation, you'll find a link in the video description where you can pick that up. Now enjoy your day, and I will see you again very soon.